What is up, everyone? This is NIKMOE, and today we are talking Splatoon 2. This Switch exclusive is a sequel to one of the Wii U's most beloved titles. Splatoon 2 does everything its predecessor did and more. We have more modes, more maps, more gear, more weapons. I could go on and on, but if you ask me, the most intriguing additions to Splatoon 2 are a bit more under the hood. You see, unlike the original Splatoon, Splatoon 2 has both a spectator mode and true LAN play, meaning Nintendo is taking direct aim at the competitive community and giving Splatoon the tools necessary to become a tournament game. But why does this matter? You see, anytime a new competitive-focused title releases, players will naturally begin to wonder, what will the scene for this game be? Will there be locals? Will there be tournaments? And of course, the holy grail, can this game become an esport? After all, it's 2017, and esports are more than a trend or a buzzword. They're a core piece of the gaming landscape, and so the question presents itself, can Splatoon 2 become an esport? Before I make my case, I'd like to invite you all to share your thoughts on the game and its esports viability in the comments below. So, what does it take? What makes an esport nowadays, and can Splatoon pull it off? The truth is a bit more complicated than you might think. You see, to become what we all think of as an esport, a game needs to be more than just competitive. It needs to be highly watchable. You see, Twitch viability plays a key role in forming any esport. It doesn't matter if your game is a perfectly balanced competitive masterpiece. If no one enjoys watching it, sponsors will never come calling. And without sponsors, there are no esports. Like it or not, advertising is everything in esports. You see brand names on streams, in tournament names, and on the actual jerseys. Much like real sports, ads are everywhere and they pay the bills. Okay, so we have some general guidelines established. In order to make it as an esport, Splatoon needs to be competitive and it needs to be watchable for the average viewer. So, how does it stack up? Well, let's talk competitive potential. While Splatoon 2 is still too early to call, we can make some predictions based on the original Splatoon on Wii U. If you're unfamiliar with Splatoon, the basic premise goes something like this. Splatoon is a third-person shooter where your weapon serves two purposes. One, to cover the map in your team's color of ink, thereby giving your team control of the map. And two, to take out or splat your opponents, forcing them to respawn. Two teams of four will battle it out on a variety of maps in one of several modes. One is a literal turf war, where the team who inks a majority of the map wins. The others are a bit more familiar to FPS fans. Tower control is your typical payload push a la Overwatch or TF2, and Rainmaker is like a one flag, capture the flag, except your goal is to plant the flag at your opponent's base, and holding the flag gives you access to a super weapon. Now if you ask me, tower control is Splatoon's most competitive mode. Escorting the tower while vying for control of the surrounding map takes some serious coordination. Thankfully, Turf War and Rainmaker are both competitive in their own right and serve as a test of accuracy and kill power, rather than the spacing and strategy of tower control. In order to be successful, a team is going to have to be good at all three modes, because most tournament rule sets for Splatoon rotate all three modes between rounds. In fact, ESL's European Splatoon League states in their official rules that modes are randomized each round. So, we've established that Splatoon has solid fundamentals and at higher levels features some interesting strategy, but is any of it interesting to watch?
They have one more checkpoint to get to.
Everybody's jumping onto this tower right now.
Everyone's jumping on the tower, as you said. Wait, trying to get a couple splats. It's got us in this checkpoint. Triple splat! Sounding.
This footage was taken from Nintendo's Splatoon 2 Inkling Invitational, which despite being a promotional event, did do a good job of showcasing the game's spectator mode, and it gave us a glimpse at what could be possible if this game builds a tournament scene. I believe that Splatoon's bright colors and simple premise make it easy to follow. When you see a player surrounded by enemy ink, you know he's in trouble, and when you see a map colored in a single color of ink, you know that one team is being destroyed. Even if you don't know all the special weapons or movement techniques, you can still follow along with the flow of the match thanks to Splatoon's bright colors, and that's a very good thing. And so the question then becomes, will this game have enough depth to keep viewers interested long term, or will the game grow stale over time? And that's something we won't know for a while, but we have a reason to be hopeful. Much like the first game, Nintendo will support Splatoon 2 with content and balance updates for at least a year and possibly longer. This means that the metagame will shift over time as new weapons are introduced and strategies are buffed and nerfed. We also know that Splatoon 2 features new movement techniques, which players will continue to push to the limits as they grow more comfortable with the game. To bring this whole thing together, let me just say this. I believe that Splatoon 2 has the basic recipe to grow a competitive scene. We have tournament modes, we have spectator tools, we have a shooter with depth and advanced techniques, and we have a community of Nintendo fans who are turning to Twitch to see the game in action. It all seems good, but unfortunately, we are missing one key component. Nintendo. Yes, Nintendo. You see, Nintendo has a history of being less than supportive of its titles in a competitive sense. The Super Smash Bros. Community, which is undoubtedly the largest Nintendo-based esport in existence, is what it is today because of the hard work and effort of the community, not corporate Nintendo. Smash was, is, and always will be a grassroots success story. More recently, Nintendo's Reggie Fils-Aime put out an official statement that their position is to support esports from a distance, to give the community the tools they need to create a scene and not directly influence it. This hands-off approach to esports gives us things like Nintendo Versus, an official Nintendo Twitter account which focuses solely on promoting Nintendo-based esports. You see, Nintendo is not officially organizing tournaments or streams, but rather spreading the reach of grassroots communities to more people. But will this be enough? Will a Splatoon 2 scene grow on its own without Nintendo's direct involvement? Does Splatoon 2 have what it takes to become an actual esport? To me, the answer is yes, but with a huge asterisk. Yes, this game is both competitive and fun to watch, but to become an esport, to exist alongside games like CSGO, Dota 2, and League of Legends, all without the official support of Nintendo? That will be a challenge. To succeed, Splatoon 2 will need a dedicated community pushing the game as far as it can go. Only time will tell if they can succeed, but who knows? One day they might just get there.